Good morning, televiewers, and many thanks for joining us. It is with so much excitement and, happiness that I welcome you to Thursday's edition of In the House. It's the 24th day of June 2021, and we are really excited to entertain you on this day when we're definitely going to talk about relationship issues, matters that concern the heart, to help one or two relationships out there about to crumble. It's not our prayer that anybody's relationship should be broken. So on Thursdays and sometimes Fridays, we are moved by the Spirit to talk about these issues that we all so much are in love with. You don't want to miss out on any part of the program today, from gossip to cooking, lifestyle, COVID-19 update. You're definitely going to be thrilled by the package we have for you this blessed day. Go to our Facebook page, like, comment, and share. That's how we roll every weekdays, 11 to 12:30 p.m. And remember, the rebroadcast of In the House is at 2 a.m. So the handle to watch on Facebook, connect live with us, it's My Media Prime Television, and I'm your host, Eileen. We have Nora Kebei in the building with us. I love her attire. Happy Cultural Thursday, Nora. You look like a British, but yet an African, model this morning. When they are on the runway, they always blend the cultures, and it looks spectacular on you.
Thank you, Thank you, panelists. Good morning, televiewers, and welcome to yet another edition of In the House, a co-write talk show program which runs from Mondays to Fridays each weekday, and it's always our pleasure to be here on set because you are out there, and together we can bring about the changes in the society. We talk about societal issues, family issues, so that together we can build the nation. So all of you out there who are hustling, may God bless your hustle this day and the days ahead. Today is Thursday, and on Thursdays and Fridays, the days are normally reserved for romantic topics, like we educate the society on sex education and many other things on romance and relationships. So today's not going to be any different from what we've been doing on other Thursdays and Fridays. And just keep following us on all our social media handles, and let the show begin.
Send those contributions as soon as you get a topic of discussion so that we can together bring the change we want. It's only going to happen if you and I put efforts together. We have Gwladys Bomotonguina in the house with us as well. On dit comment? Joyeux jeudi culturel.
Ah ben parce que c'est officiel.
Oui, in the house, à My Media Prime, c'est officiel.
Ok, d'accord, je comprends.
Ah ouais.
Merci beaucoup et meilleur à toi.
Merci beaucoup, Gwladys.
C'est vraiment beaucoup de culture et beaucoup d'imagination. J'ai toujours l'habitude de te dire ça, tu as de l'imagination en fait. Donc du coup, chapeau, bonjour à toutes les autres co-panélistes, bonjour à vous qui nous regardez. Oui, c'est parti pour 1h30 de In the House, oui, à la maison, où nous traitons des faits de société, nous parlons aussi parfois politique, nous parlons religion et surtout, le jeudi et le vendredi, nous parlons relations amoureuses, nous parlons couple. Je sais que ce jour-ci, là, les gens attendent de ça souvent avec tellement de patience. Donc, ne manquez pas d'envoyer vos contributions immédiatement, que vous allez voir le sujet sur le bas de votre petit écran. Sur ce, restez connectés, mais je vais vous laisser avec une parole. Ce n'est pas par votre force, mais c'est par l'Esprit de Dieu que vous pouvez accomplir de grandes choses. Restez connectés.
Merci beaucoup, Gwladys. And our last panelist in the house is none other than Mrs. IGBOKWE Mercy MANKA'A, who is here in the studio with us. She's from Genoa Institute. I'm sure most of you are already familiar with her face. We feel really, really blessed to have you once more on the platform this beautiful day. Mercy, welcome to In the House.
Thank you very much. I would say that the feeling is much.
And I love the outfits.
Yes, I'm representing the grass field.
Oh yeah.
So thank you for this privilege and this opportunity. I'm always honored and humbled when I'm given this platform to be able to add my voice to one thing or the other we are facing in our communities. So ladies, thank you for having me, to the co-panelists, and to everyone watching at home. We thank you for tuning in, and may God richly bless every one of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much as well, Mercy. And today, Nora, We already announced, we know it's love, but then what are we focusing on?
Okay, straight to the topic. Can sex truly wait before marriage these days? That's the topic we have for today. Can sex truly wait before marriage these days? We all know how our society functions these days, especially when youths get into relationship, young boys, young girls, in the aspect of dating. Our society functions. So
Yeah.
we're asking the question: if sex can truly wait these days before the couple gets into marriage?
Yeah, thank you very much. You got it. You can start sending in your reactions right now so we can catch up on time by getting through to all of your messages. Remember, SMSs, WhatsApp, and Facebook comments are read live here on the platform. So do that right now. Can sex truly wait before marriage? That's what we are talking about. Can sex truly wait before marriage? These is it possible? How feasible can we as a community attain this in today's society that we know how promiscuous it has been and difficult for people to avoid consuming of the forbidden fruit? So you can send your contributions either in English or in French, and we're definitely going to read them here on the platform. And while we wait for your messages to start coming in, we send our regards to all families that are bereaved, those who lost their loved ones this day, yesterday, and in recent times. Accept our deepest condolences, and we think most especially about those in the northwest and the southwest regions, and those who are going through some turbulence in their lives. Receive a lot of support from us, and stay focused, have faith, and have hope. Gwladys is going to translate for our French community.
Le sexe peut attendre au jour d'aujourd'hui jusqu'au mariage? Est-ce que le sexe peut attendre au jour d'aujourd'hui jusqu'au mariage? C'est de ça qu'on parle sur ce plateau ce matin, au regard de la promiscuité dans laquelle nous vivons, au regard des différentes formes de délinquance juvénile observées dans notre société. Nous voulons aussi résoudre ce problème de sexe avant le mariage sur ce plateau ce matin. Soyons honnêtes, soyons 100% vrais et réels. Donc du coup, nous allons en débattre sur ce plateau ce jour.
Thank you very much, Gwladys. And I'm going to start with you, Mercy. Mercy, what is the importance of a young woman, a young girl, keeping her virginity until marriage, or only after marriage when she is this virgin?
Well, okay, thank you very much for offering this platform and for according me the opportunity to be the first panelist to say something on this. Now, first, I will talk based from my Christian background and the knowledge I acquired as a Christian. Now, here's the thing. Sex was created by God for procreation and for enjoyment for married people. So if you are not married, you have no business whatsoever being involved in sexual activities. Based on our Christian background, it is considered fornication.
Yeah.
That's if you're having sexual relations with someone and you're not married to them. It's considered a sin, and it's considered sexual immorality, fornication, or whatever you can call it. Now, the question is, in our today's society, do we still maintain that until we get married? Now, back in the days of our parents, we could say that virginity was so much of a thing that women uphold. Though, in my opinion, I don't feel like just women should be able to preserve their virginity, because fornication or sexual immorality is not just a sin or something committed just by women.
Yeah.
A man as well can be considered to be sexually immoral or a fornicator if he's having a sexual relations with women or a woman before he's married to that woman, which means that he is not preserving his virginity as well. So my question is, why should we point the light or shine the light just on women? Why should we only ask women to uphold their purity and virginity, while we allow men to frolic and do whatever they want to do and still get married? That's a question I ask myself anyway. So moving further, I would say that it is expected, Christian-wise, both from the man and the woman, to uphold that purity until they get married. Though in most of our cultures, the focus was mostly on the woman to preserve her virginity and offer to her husband as a gift, something like that. Yeah. So, but coming to our today's society, is that the reality on ground? We are far from it, right, ladies?
We are.
Yeah, we are very far from that reality, because a lot of people get involved in, or young people at that, even teenagers, very young children, if we're keeping aside things like sexual abuse and things we know children don't have control over. Regardless, a lot of children get involved in sex activities when they are not even close to the age of marriage, which is not supposed to be like that. That's why we have a lot of mishaps, a lot of diseases, a lot of strange occurrences within our systems, a lot of illnesses and funny things within our systems, because we are involving ourselves in the things we are not supposed to involve in before due time. So it brings us to the fact that parents, guardians, educators, we need to educate these children on sex education, because guess what? By nature, the fact that they are young means that they want to exploit. They want to exploit their sexuality. They want to try things. Now, if you don't even make them know that this is something wrong in the first place for them to do, you make them understand that this is wrong for you to do if you are not married, then you as a guardian or a parent, you're even making a mistake, or you're failed to begin with if you're not educating them. So I don't even know why we are still sticking, or most of us parents are still sticking to this old cultures of, oh, it's a taboo to talk sex with your children and this and that. Would you rather that they get involved in things they're not supposed to get involved in because you're not educating them? Or would you rather take that pain to educate them and caution them and make sure you played your part somewhere along the line? That's the question. So we need to educate these kids. We need to talk about abstinence. Well, in some of our schools, and even growing up as a young girl, I know we had some sex education. I know we heard messages on abstinence before marriage, because come to think of it, apart from the pleasure, maybe the 5 minutes pleasure, does it even last 5 minutes? Come to think of it, apart from that pleasure, but if you think of the consequences, yeah, I wonder if that pleasure lasts up to even 5 minutes. It's to say that it's a pleasure that is short-lived. Yeah, it's short-lived. It may be more than 5 minutes for some people, but I feel it's short-lived. And so, but when you look at what you're trading for that 5 minutes of pleasure can be much more. Imagine that for a 15 minutes of pleasure, for example, a girl can get pregnant or contact a disease that it can take her 15 years to deal with or to get out of. So you see that the pleasure you're trying to derive from it, plus the consequences that comes from you having that act, doesn't balance at all. It's the space or the gap is too wide. So, but if you're patient enough to get into or to wait until you get into marriage where you are freely able to exercise this right, is a God-given gift. It's a pleasure that God wants you to enjoy inside marriage. Because while you are in marriage, there are a lot of things that covers you. Then if you get pregnant, there is a father to the baby, the child will be duly raised, and we know that unless in maybe exceptional cases or in extreme cases that things go wrong, but under the covenant of marriage as Christians, you are sure that you're functioning the way God wants you to function. You're having sex in the right way as you want it. At some point you may even get tired. That's the reality of it. Because you have somebody at your disposal you can have any time you want to and fro, and at some point you even be the one to say, let's wait a bit. Maybe I don't want, let's wait for a while. So
thank you very much. We are definitely going to hear more from you, but it's time for us to take a musical break, and then when we come back, our two panelists will have their say, and we'll definitely get some of your reactions. Don't move a muscle.
It's a woman.
You're welcome to the studio. You're welcome back to the studio. And if you just stepped in you're right on time to catch up on the discussion. And thank you for choosing My Media Prime TV as your #1 broadcast channel. You're definitely going to enjoy it here. Today we're talking about sex, and we are asking if truly sex can wait before marriage. These days, in today's contemporary society, Gwladys, sex after marriage, is it more of a theory than a practical something in our society? Why has sex become so commonplace as in the years? What do you think about it before you react to the topic?
Je vais être un peu... je vais choquer beaucoup de personnes ce matin.
Ok.
Et je vais choquer beaucoup de personnes. Parce que, oui, effectivement. Parce que au jour d'aujourd'hui, c'est très difficile de se préserver jusqu'au mariage. C'est une réalité, c'est un fait.
Oui.
C'est vrai qu'il y a des gens qui y parviennent pour des raisons, pour des autres, peut-être parce qu'il y a des opportunités qui leur permettent de le faire, mais c'est quelque chose qui est devenu très difficile. Je vais vous amener d'abord dans la première cause de cette difficulté que nous observons au jour d'aujourd'hui. Lorsque tu lis la Bible au niveau du livre de Genèse, tu te rends compte depuis le chapitre 1 au chapitre 2, même au chapitre 3, avant le dernier verset, que Adam et Ève, ils sont déjà là, et ils sont mariés femmes. D'accord? Mais Adam et Ève n'ont pas encore consommé le mariage.
Ah ouais.
Juste avant que Adam ne chute avec Ève, quand tu lis chronologiquement la Bible, ils sont devenus hommes et femmes, mari et femme, mais ils ne se sont jamais connus.
Yes.
C'est-à-dire, Adam n'avait jamais couché avec Ève.
True.
Et lorsque tu descends maintenant au chapitre 3, verset 31, tu te rends compte que là commence la chute de l'homme. Non, le chapitre, pas verset 31, parce que c'est au verset 31 qu'ils sont chassés du jardin. Donc après la chute, lorsque Adam chute avec sa femme et qu'ils sont chassés du jardin, et qu'ils entrent maintenant au chapitre 4, verset 1er, la première phrase du verset 1 te dit que Adam connut Ève. Donc, Adam vient connaître Ève après la chute. Et ils étaient dans le jardin, mari et femme, il ne la connaît pas. Lorsqu'il n'avait pas encore péché, il ne la connaît pas. Il n'a pas couché avec elle. Ça ne faisait pas partie. Ça ne faisait pas partie. Non, je veux enlever d'abord la conception que les gens disent que le fruit dont on parle dans la Bible, c'est le sexe. Ce n'est pas le sexe. C'est la connaissance du bien et du mal. Ils sont venus à la conscience du bien et du mal. Ici, à ce niveau, s'ils restent dans cette connaissance, ils peuvent rester à vie damnés. Pourquoi? Parce qu'ils sont sortis de leur forme originelle.
Because physically, we know that there was an apple.
Ça, c'est une...
That's the fruit that God...
No.
The sex is the fruit.
No. C'est l'information là que je veux d'abord enlever.
No. It's actually what God told him not to.
Enlever cette information hérétique.
It was only when he ate the fruit that the scales fell off his eyes.
Il a commencé à connaître maintenant le bien et le mal. Et s'il restait dans le jardin, dans cette position, il pouvait rester éternellement damné. Il ne devait pas avoir une possibilité pour nous d'être rachetés. Donc il a fallu qu'ils sortent de là. Et quand ils sont de là, c'est là où il connaît Ève. C'est à ce moment-là que Adam couche avec Ève, pas avant. Donc, le problème du sexe, ce n'est pas une histoire d'aujourd'hui, ce n'est pas une histoire de mariage. Parce que s'il faut parler de mariage, Adam était déjà le mari de Ève, mais il ne la connaissait pas. Il n'avait pas couché avec elle. Ça ne faisait pas partie de nous. En ce moment-là, le sexe vient s'introduire quand il chute. C'est pourquoi au jour d'aujourd'hui, on peut voir plus de personnes en plein à coucher parce que ça fait déjà partie de nous.
De nous, comme
ça fait déjà partie d'une de nos faiblesses. La faiblesse de la chair. Donc, c'est quelque chose qui n'est que normal. C'est pourquoi on ne fait qu'observer ça à ce jour.
And battling it.
Et c'est difficile. Il faut qu'on soit honnête.
No, that's the truth, like
Il faut qu'on soit honnête. Il y a beaucoup de personnes qui prétendent. Il y a beaucoup de personnes qui prétendent et qui disent des choses qui ne sont pas vraies pour plaire aux gens.
Ouais.
Mais moi, je ne plais pas aux gens. Je dis la vérité comme elle doit être dite.
Ouais.
Le sexe, c'est quelque chose qui fait partie des éléments, des conséquences de la chute de l'homme.
Ouais.
Du coup, ce n'est que normal qu'au jour d'aujourd'hui, l'homme se retrouve à être aussi jeune, poussé vers le sexe. Okay. On parle de la libido infantile.
Ouais.
Même les petits-enfants s'érectent.
Ouais.
On est d'accord.
Oui.
Même le bébé se met en érection.
Oui.
Alors, comment on explique ça? Est-ce qu'à ce moment-là, le bébé inconsciemment, il peut pratiquer l'acte sexuel, mais inconsciemment.
Yeah.
Il ne connaîtra pas ce que c'est. Mais il s'est mis en érection. C'est aussi simple que ça. C'est naturel. C'est devenu une conséquence des problèmes de la chute de l'homme. C'est pourquoi il est difficile. Il est très difficile pour un être humain de s'abstenir. C'est très difficile. Mais ce n'est pas impossible.
It happens. People who have grace, like you said.
C'est difficile, mais ce n'est pas impossible. C'est pourquoi la Bible nous dit à quelque part que lorsque on s'affectionne aux choses de la chair, on ne produit que les œuvres de la chair. Mais lorsque tu commences à t'affectionner aux choses spirituelles, aux choses d'en haut, la chair, les besoins de la chair, les désirs de la chair s'affaiblissent. Tu commences maintenant à avoir le dessus sur tes faiblesses. C'est pourquoi on dit chercher la sagesse. Il faut rechercher la sagesse. Parce que lorsque tu commences à rechercher la sagesse, tu te rends compte que il y a des choses qui naturellement, tu commences à te détacher. Naturellement, tu commences à te détacher. Ce n'est pas par tes efforts, non. Il faut qu'on enlève ça. C'est pas par tes efforts, mais c'est par la grâce de Dieu. Chacun a son parcours sur cette terre et chacun vit son parcours. Moi, je connais des gens qui ont fait le serment de rester vierge jusqu'au mariage. Mais tu sais ce qui s'est passé?
Non.
Ils ont été violés. Oui. Ils ont été violés avant le mariage. Ça a changé beaucoup de choses. Donc, pour dire quoi? Pour dire que ce qu'on appelle le sexe avant le mariage, on décourage ça. Pourquoi? À cause des conséquences que ça apporte. Parce que normalement, le sexe d'abord, c'est quelque chose de spirituel. Lorsque vous vous mettez en contact et que ces fluides se partagent, c'est l'esprit. En fait, tu es en train de prendre de l'esprit de cette personne. Et la personne prend de ton esprit. C'est quelque chose tellement spirituel que si on vient à expliquer ça, on va rien comprendre. C'est tellement compliqué d'expliquer à quelqu'un qu'en fait, lorsque tu rencontres, lorsque tu connais quelqu'un, tu commences à partager l'esprit de la personne. Pourquoi lorsqu'on se marie et qu'il n'y a pas consommation de mariage, on peut divorcer facilement? Parce que les deux personnes ne se sont, il n'y a pas encore eu ce lien-là, cette alliance de l'esprit. Il n'y a pas encore eu ça. Donc, ils peuvent facilement divorcer. On va leur accorder le divorce. Il n'y a pas eu consommation du mariage. Mais lorsque tu connais déjà quelqu'un, lorsque l'acte sexuel se consomme, là, c'est deux esprits qui viennent ensemble. Et les conséquences de ça sont plus dangereuses qu'on ne peut l'imaginer. Elles sont tellement dangereuses. C'est pourquoi à l'église, on encourage la jeune fille, le jeune garçon à pratiquer l'abstinence à cause des conséquences spirituelles qui affectent naturellement leur vie par la suite. Parce que lorsque tu rencontres quelqu'un, tu ne connais pas son background, tu ne connais pas le background de sa famille. Lorsque tu te mets avec la personne, les défis, les combats de cette personne, tu les épouses. Ça devient tes combats. Les défis de cette personne, ça devient tes défis. Et du coup, à la fin, tu te retrouves en train de combattre des combats que tu ne connais pas. Et on se retrouve avec c'est plus les jeunes filles malheureusement, parce que elles sont beaucoup plus déçues et plus vulnérables, beaucoup plus émotionnelles, qui se retrouvent en train de connaître comme ça plusieurs hommes. Ça fait un regroupement de tellement d'esprit que à la fin, tu te retrouves perdu à l'intérieur.
Ouais.
Il n'y a plus rien. Tout est confus. Du coup, même pour reconnaître ton époux devient compliqué. Parce que le sexe, lorsqu'il y a déjà cette union-là, tu as déjà approuvé que oui, c'est cette personne-ci. Maintenant, tu as approuvé avec peut-être 10, 15, 20 personnes. À la fin, qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Confusion.
Tu deviens confuse.
Ouais.
Tu deviens confuse. C'est pourquoi beaucoup de filles au jour d'aujourd'hui, beaucoup de jeunes garçons trouvent le mariage difficile. Il y a quelque chose qui se produit encore souvent pendant l'acte sexuel que beaucoup de personnes font sans s'en rendre compte.
Oui.
Je t'appartiens. Tu es ma possession. Ça, ce sont des déclarations que lorsqu'on fait, on ne mesure pas, mais qui ont des conséquences terribles. Lorsque tu pars te placer, tu commences à dire il faut que je me marie, je veux me marier, je veux me marier. Le mariage ne vient pas parce que tu es déjà marié avec beaucoup de personnes. Tu as dit je t'appartiens à tel, à Paul, à Jean, à Eric, mais à la fin, tu es perdu, tu es confuse. C'est pourquoi on conseille que l'abstinence est très importante.
Yeah.
L'abstinence avant le mariage.
Ouais.
Ce sont des conseils qu'il faut donner aux jeunes.
Oui.
Parce que leur dire que ne pratique pas l'acte sexuel, parce que l'acte sexuel c'est après le mariage, non, c'est hérétique. S'il faut regarder bibliquement, c'est hérétique. Mais leur dire les conséquences qu'il y a dans le fait de coucher avec un homme qui n'est pas encore ton mari ou avec une femme qui n'est pas encore ta femme risque de diminuer tes chances de trouver un mari ou de trouver un bon mari.
Yeah, and it's going to be easier for a young girl who has never had sex to abstain than having sex and then wanting to abstain later, just like a young
Non, mais
man.
c'est très difficile. Tu ne peux pas, commencer. Quand tu as déjà commencé, ça devient compliqué.
Yeah.
Ça devient compliqué. C'est compliqué, mais il y a des exceptions. C'est possible.
Oui.
Yeah, it's possible.
C'est très possible. C'est pourquoi je dis, lorsque tu commences à t'affectionner aux choses de l'esprit, tu ça affaisse, ça oppresse en fait les désirs de la chair.
Oui.
C'est pourquoi on demande aux gens de prier continuellement. Parce que c'est pendant que tu es dans cette position-là que tu nourris ton esprit.
Ah oui.
Et que ton esprit prend plus de possession que ta chair.
Ah oui. Merci beaucoup, Gwladys. Maybe you have something to add later. Let me get this announcement before we hear a word from Nora. I'm going to shoot my best shot at it because it's in French. Le PDG de Gwladys Learning Center informe le grand public que Madame Ngozi Liliane, a.k.a. Verushka, n'est plus membre du personnel ou partenaire de Gwladys Learning Center. Toutes les transactions concernent Gwladys Learning Center dans les zones francophones doivent être engagées avec Madame Ashley, joignable E. Those are the telephone numbers there. Madame Ashley, you can call her on 678-498-045 or Madame Abimbola. Madame Abimbola's number is right there. You have it there. +234 813 473 0721. Vous pouvez également contacter le PDG Amb Adekunle Batmos. That's Abimbola Adekunle Batmos on +90 553 917 3997. So anybody who is doing any transaction with Madame Ngozi Liliane, aka Verushka, on behalf of Gwladys Learning Center should stop. That's the PDG of that enterprise, Mr. Abimbola Gwladys, or Abim Gwladys there, Adekunle Batmos, I beg your pardon. And for more information, pour plus d'informations, visite notre page Facebook à Gwladys Study Abroad et notre site web www.gwladys.org. That's .org in English, www.godmods.org. Thank you very much, Desmond, for helping us with those elements right there. Now, coming to you, Nora, when a young woman says no to sex, she either loses the guy or the guy cheats on her. For men, I don't know how it works, because I don't think that a man who tells a woman to wait for sex after marriage, the woman will run away. I doubt if it has ever happened, but I know that most often than not, there are women who suffer this. How do you think women or young ladies can control such a situation, you know, and as most young ladies want to get married, before you react to the topic of today? Respecting the abstinence, like I may want to abstain, but the man I've met in courtship doesn't want. Maybe this has happened to me once, twice, 3 times, and when I say no, they run away. They don't want to wait, or they either that they cheat on me. How can we come out of such a situation?
Well, I think that if you're that person who makes up your mind that you want to abstain, consequences of premarital sex, and you meet somebody who is not ready, it means you don't just share the same values. Okay. I'm sorry to say that. It means you don't share the same values. Now there are a lot of reasons why people engage into premarital sex. Yeah. Some because of, you know, I want to be man. Some people in the society, you have a group of friends who may consider you a social mistake. You have not tasted it. Who do you think you are? And you find a group of students who be like teasing you and say, "Who this one? You're not even up to somebody, and you think you can talk among us." And it pushes them, you know, to have sex. But if you have your values and you want to uphold that values, and you find somebody who cannot, you know, share your values with you, Eileen, you I think you simply walk away, because it's not something like you want to stay in a relationship and then say I want to give it a try for somebody who is not willing to respect your own ideologies. You might decide to abstain for various reasons. You want to abstain because you want to uphold those values, and because of your religious convictions, your beliefs and all of that. Even traditional beliefs sometimes. You know, but if you find somebody who says, "No, I can't wait, I want us to get engaged into it," and we all know that premarital sex is a sin, and you don't want to engage into sin. So why would you stay in and you're conscious? You are conscious that whatever I'm going to do is a sin, and you have actually made up your mind that I will not do this thing. And then you get somebody who comes into your life, and you want to stay with the person, and you know that he is dragging you into sin. Of course. There are not two things should go through your mind. Okay. Either you're trying to impose your values on which you know, of course, that they are right values. Yes, they are right values, and you have to impose it on this person and try to get him out of sin. Yeah. And you're conscious and you have the willpower to say, okay, I have to restrain myself from falling into this temptation. So you either there are two things. Either you're walking out of the relationship if he doesn't want to abide by your rules, or you try to impose your own values on the person. And I think that parents as well have a very big role to play in children's life. Yeah. There are a lot of things. Parental guidance. It's because you have, as a parent, you have the responsibility to educate your children on the consequences of sex. And I think that if all of us parents take it as a responsibility to educate our children, then we will not find ourselves in situations like this. We will not find ourselves in situations like this. And then the exposure to, it still boils down to parental guidance. The exposure to, we sit in the house, watch telenovelas, and we know that these telenovelas are all romantic, movies. They are all romantic.
That instill feelings in our children.
Good. We sit there, they are showing sexually explicit scenes, and we are watching with the children, it is so wrong. And parents should not be ashamed of, I think MANKA'A mentioned it, parents, we have come to this period where in our lives where no parent should be ashamed to talk about sex to the children, whether you're a biological father, a biological mother, an uncle, a caregiver, whatever you are to the child, as long as you have these children under your roof, I really don't think that sex should be a taboo topic.
Yeah.
We should be able to talk to our children
about
and let them know the consequences. Sex education is very important, both at home and at school.
Especially in today's contemporary society.
Now
things have changed.
Children have become very adventurous.
That's smarter than you think.
Yes, they have become very adventurous. And we don't leave phones with children, because when they go when you have your phones, when they go to your phones, there are sites that they want to go to.
Yes.
And parents too should stop downloading those apps. They are not, because now we know that children always access our phones.
They always want to play games. You never know when
they will stumble on, and then they kind of, material they come across. So parents should, take it up as a duty, as a responsibility to educate their children on sex education. We don't have to talk about, you don't have to be shy, and so you don't tell them, especially now that we are in the holidays period, the long holidays, of course, now in Cameroon, and children are at home. Engage these children into various activities. Let them not be idle. They shouldn't be idle, and always keep your eyes on children. Not say because this is my brother's son, my brother's child, and this is children are very, very...
Things can happen.
Yes, anything can happen. You should keep an eye. Especially when children are playing in the room, especially when they are playing in the room, always keep an eye on them. Build in them some good values, good moral values, so that they will never, depart from it. I think that we have to... that period where our parents used to be shy talking about sex, but with all the education that we have acquired, and we still are acquiring, I think it shouldn't go in vain. We should impart this knowledge on our children. Teach them about especially the girl children. Teach them about their bodies, and even the men as well. Because the men are the ones who are the boy children are mostly the ones who feel like social misfits. Boys have this way of laughing at their friends and say, "Oh, you have not tried it. Just try it and see how it feels." And then
you're not a man. You're not man enough.
You're not man enough. They are very adventurous. And then the kind of friends your children keep, I think that's very important. For you monitor the kind of friends. I think that parents should go the extra mile, and when your child brings a friend to the house, try to find out who this friend is. Who are your parents? From the kind of conversation you have with your friends, your child's friends, you may know the kind of background
they come from.
The child is being raised, the values which are being imparted on these children. I think those are very important. Very important points that we should not neglect. And even at school, while in school, the teachers should do their best as well. And parents should always keep that liaison between them and the teachers. I think that they should always keep that. And back in the schools, of course, we still have the moral education. Where they are being taught about several things, menstrual hygiene and all that. We have had situations where you find children who leave the house and they are going to school, and you find them in sex parties. Where do they learn all of that? Sometimes just become adventurous, exposure to raw content, and then lack of education in the house. And then the way you raise children too. Sometimes parents are just negligent. Don't find time to talk with children. So if you find yourself as a young girl or as a young boy who wants to keep your dignity, who wants to value yourself and say, okay, I want to abstain from premarital sex because I'm aware of the consequences, and you meet somebody who does not respect your values, then there's no point for you staying in the relationship. There's just no point. Either you're imposing your own values on him, or you walk away because you know that you're imposing the right values on this person.
Something that I want to add in what Nora says is about the young girl or the young boy who want to preserve himself before marriage. If you know that you are not yet in age of marriage and that you want to preserve yourself, don't go for a relationship. Because relationship is normally for people that are already in age of getting married. If you are not in that age, don't go, because at the end of the day you might want tu vas vouloir t'abstenir, tu vas refuser plusieurs fois, mais il y a une fois où tu vas lâcher prise. Pourquoi? Parce que tu as déjà lâché tes émotions à quelqu'un. Et malheureusement pour toi, les émotions vont t'amener à céder d'une manière ou d'une autre. Donc tu peux résister peut-être avec 10 personnes, Mais il y a une fois où tu vas lâcher prise. Donc, si tu n'es pas encore en âge de te marier et que tu veux te préserver, n'entre pas dans une relation amoureuse. Abstiens-toi de ça.
Okay, thank you, Gwladys. Let's get few reactions that will come for the last set of questions. Dre Zatsa says, love the traditional blend. Thank you very much, girl. We have Elongo Robert. Good morning to you. Good morning to you too as well. Ngala Fonji. Looking good today, ladies. Thank you very much for your reactions, but you haven't said anything concerning today's topic. Is it possible that sex can wait before marriage? You know, that's what we are talking about today. And very quickly, MANKA'A.
Yeah.
Yes, my favorite name there. Another school of thought says it is important to have a try to see if both of you people are compatible. Like, let's test the food before we settle down, so that we don't get there and then you can't satisfy me in bed, because that's what our guys, most guys are saying nowadays, that they want to know if this woman can give it to them the way they want, or she'll be able to meet up to my demands, or we are compatible to have that spark. What are your reactions towards this phenomenon?
Okay, I would say that I'll
Start by saying I won't say that I don't have knowledge about what you're saying, because I've heard about it.
Yeah.
I've heard young people talk about that. I've even read about it, and even biologically there is a claim that there is something called sexual compatibility with somebody.
Yes.
And there's this school of thought that thinks that if you're not allowed to have sex with somebody before you marry the person, how are you supposed to know that you're sexually compatible with the person? Because according to what they claim, you can get married to somebody, you don't know them sexually, and then you start having sex with the person and you start experiencing problems because you're not sexually compatible with the person, according to them.
Sure.
So, well, I've not read much into that, but speaking based on my Christian background and on my own personal convictions, I would say that I've never met someone up front that has had maybe sexual incompatibility issues. You know, I've never had any sexual incompatibility issues.
Sex is something that they learn.
Yeah. When you hear a man saying or a woman saying
sexual
he's not
incompatibility,
good in bed, or my husband cannot satisfy me, is this not what we are talking about?
No, on apprend.
Now that the man is weak in bed.
Let me throw more light on it.
They can work on that.
Yeah.
They can work on that.
Let me throw more light.
Okay.
Based on what I read or heard people saying, I don't know, it's not my personal conviction, but I heard some medical people saying that there's a tendency that sexually you're not compatible to everybody, in the sense that there are couples that they could be in marriage and 5 years down the line they don't have a kid because they are not sexually compatible, not because they really have an issue of infertility. So it takes them a longer time to try and eventually conceive than if they were with someone that is sexually compatible. Well, I really don't know about that study.
I've heard about it too. I've heard about it, but yet it is a problem of the understanding of men.
Yeah.
There is no unfruitfulness in human being. There is nothing called unfruitfulness. It is something. How can you explain to me that, okay, they have said that you people are not compatible, and after a period of time, like you say, 5 years, you got a child.
Down
then
the line.
how does this happen?
So what they claim is that it's easier for people who are compatible to achieve those results.
Men are not sexually attracted to
according
every
to what
woman, just like women are not sexually attracted to every man. So getting that
when you are
compatibility,
getting married
that
to
attraction,
somebody,
how
when you
does it
are
happen?
getting married to somebody, I'm saying that marriage is not something of men. We should know it and keep it very preciously. Marriage is an divine institution. It is not something for men.
Yeah, for
so
both men and women.
if you are married with somebody, you should know that in this marriage I'm supposed to be fruitful, and I am fruitful, and you are going to be fruitful.
Of course, because it's godly.
Yeah.
It is not a thing of men. It is not. What is your biology? Are you the one who create yourself? No. The blood that is flowing in your body, is it coming from you? No, sorry. Somebody met you, and the person that met you made you able to be fruitful. That's why it says, go and be fruitful. So if you are going to your marriage and in your mind you know that you are fruitful, you are going to be fruitful. If you don't know that you are fruitful, then devil are going to fight your marriage, and then you are going to stay in that marriage for 10 years, 20 years, 25 years without a child.
Miracles does happen like this, but we have a man of God. We have a man of God. I can tell you, I watched the report on TV a few years back. A man of God, a pastor in one of our churches, main churches. He was married for 10 years and had no children.
Pastors that have been married for 25 years without children.
So how do you explain
and
that?
even more.
Yes.
Is it not God's time that to work on?
No. There is something that we call destiny, and there is something that we call plan of God.
Okay.
The plan of God is not the plan of man. We should understand it.
And it
is not because your story is not my story.
Yeah.
So your marriage is not my marriage. If I have children in the first year or the first month of my marriage, it doesn't mean that another person is supposed to be so. No.
Okay.
That's the mindset. And that's why people have problems, because they're judging their marriage based on other people's marriage. No, you should understand. Why are you married? What is the plan of God concerning your marriage? That's what you should understand.
Okay.
Simple.
Okay, let me quickly say this before.
Briefly. So we
still on sexual compatibility, I think that another issue we should look into is the aspect of where your blood groups or genotype rather doesn't match. That's still based on sexual compatibility as we are talking, because
like the last time we were talking on sickle cell.
For example, SSSS, you come together and you have a sickle cell child, the child suffers throughout their life, they die. That is still sexual incompatibility. But the good thing with that one is that it can be tested. So that's why we are also encouraging that before marriage, yes, you've prayed to God, also make sure you test things. Don't say that I must go and test it sexually to have a sick child before I know that we are not sexually. They should veto the fact that your genotype and this person's genotype is okay. You mustn't test it physically to be able to tell that
both
I'm
of
not.
you are fertile, because we know that fertility test carried out to say this woman can conceive. If you don't conceive, it means that God's time, like she said, is not yet right for you. Yes, people do it. People do fertility test before they get married. Yeah, it's possible for both men and women.
No, I thought that you were talking about a relationship that the man just says, okay, I want to test whether
that should for marriage. To get married.
Mais on a eu quand même aussi des gens qui se sont mariés comme ça, donc il n'y a pas de standard vraiment, il n'y a pas de règle. La vie c'est comme Dieu le veut.
Well, life is different.
You don't get into a relationship thinking
this person is better.
You implanting those things in your head. That's how they work against you.
Yeah, because most people get married to have babies, not because for marriage, not because for love.
But in essence, I think what we're just saying is that don't get into some things ignorantly. If you don't have knowledge of something, it's better you sort out the knowledge, because even the Bible says that my people perish for the lack of knowledge. Sometimes even before you get knowledge of something, you're already suffering from the thing because you were ignorant before you got into it. So let's try to study and ask questions. Go to pastors, whoever you feel can answer your question on these things. Thank you.
MANKA'A, thank you. It was great hearing from you all, ladies. While we wait for more reactions to come, let's get the COVID-19 updates. Today we're focusing on 3 African countries. We have Cameroon. Let's start at home. Cameroon has recorded so far 80,487 COVID cases, deaths 1,320, and recovery 78,224. Moving on to the next African country, Nigeria. Nigeria has recorded 167,375 COVID cases, deaths 2,118, and recoveries 163,917. And the last one we are hitting on this morning is Ghana. Ghana has recorded 95,236 COVID cases, deaths 794, and recoveries 93,141. So respect all barrier measures against COVID-19, and let's together save the world. Wear your face mask. That's the best and most easy one to carry on. Let's move on to the first slot for the day. Is gossip with Gwladys. Don't go anywhere. You are going to learn something.
Bon, le gossip d'aujourd'hui, là, moi aussi, j'ai seulement entendu ça hier, quand je partais acheter mes beignets. Moi, acheter mes beignets doucement, non. Je suis arrivée chez mamie beignets, et puis j'ai seulement entendu le gossip.
Il déteste son gars.
I'm telling you. Alors, c'est deux jeunes filles qui étaient en train de discuter d'un ami à elle, qui était un tombeur, le genre de gars que non, lui, il passe seulement son temps à déranger les filles. Donc, il n'était pas sérieux, il était juste, on appelle ça comme un coureur de jupons.
Wow. Oumarapa.
Oui. Donc, pour finir, donc, le gars, dans son jeu de dribble de football,
il a
une fille lui a mis un zolo. La fille a mis un zolo comment? En fait, les filles a raconté qu'en fait, la fille a utilisé les trucs mystiques
charme
pour le charmer. Et elle lui a mis le zolo, le gars est tombé, il est devenu comme un légume. Tout se fait. Ouais. Un légume. Donc maintenant, le gars lui-même, à un moment donné, il ne comprend pas ce qui a fait de se passer dans sa vie. Mais ce qui a amené les jeunes filles à parler, c'est qu'il est gravement malade. Et elles se disent que peut-être c'est l'excès de ces trucs-là qui sont en train d'affecter le jeune homme.
Wow.
Donc, moi-même, ça m'a dépassé.
Why would young girls do things like that? And what if it's the effect of the charm and this boy?
And he dies. You know, most people have died from this.
No, I will shock you. In this Douala that we are inside like that, ladies like that.
They're into charm. That's what I know.
If you don't know, you should know it now.
Yeah. I know that worst part is it's just funny.
Yeah, the worst part is I know of a story where the lady was married to a man. I think the man's family did not want her. So they kept trying to send her out of the house and turn the man against her. So she wanted the man's love to be stronger so that she would. So she went and got the charm. Unfortunately for her, she was putting the charm in the man's food, and the man's first daughter, his favorite daughter, eats in the same plate with the daddy. So they both ate out of the food. Before they discovered it, this man was sleeping with his daughter.
Oh my God.
What? Can you imagine? They had to go to the village with cleansing and all of that.
God.
So the charm walk between,
because both of them consumed the food, the child ate and the father also ate, so it said, wow, please, please, young girls, that's the worst thing you can do to yourself or for another person.
And do you know that love which is not even natural, it can never be sweet.
No.
Because you just have somebody at your beck and call, and it becomes a slave.
And those skills will follow from that person's eyes. That charm will definitely die.
It will definitely
or that
die.
Baba whom you took the charm from might have an accident or might die. Well, I don't wish anybody dead. But where will you go and get that same charm?
Things often happen. You know, things have condition. Like the Baba can say, let me go for it. Let this person not see it. And you fail one of those laws.
You come on your way. Unfortunately, the rain starts on you.
Yeah.
And
you too now you get affected.
So you get there and he has relocated. Everyone cannot have the same charm from him.
everyone will take
it's a two. So what will happen now? So
No.
C'est la bêtise.
C'est la bêtise.
Not at all. Thank you for the story. Maybe one day, that's topic for in the house. Please, this palava charm. Young girls have really indulged into it, and it has hooked up on some of them. And our men, we are sorry. Our tribes are really. They are messing up.
Let's not only talk even about men. I heard of a case in Nigeria where it was inside a guy who charmed the lady. And do you know where they are not all the ladies' eyes? It fell on the lady's eyes because our whole family has been talking against this man. Why would this girl be married to this particular man? She will not listen to anybody. After 3 children, one day she woke up. What's happening?
Yeah.
And with 3 kids, this is your husband.
And then everything stops. Everything.
And the marriage dissolved. She ran out of the marriage.
Crazy. Desmong, let's take a commercial break. When we come back, another panelist is going to join us. And so thank you very much, MANKA'A.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Together, let's celebrate football non-stop for 50 days with the UEFA European League, UEFA Champions League finals. And from the 11th June onwards, you can watch the UEFA Euro 2020 in full live and in HD, commented on by our best experts on the Canal Plus Sports channels. And right now, the HD decoder is only 5,000 francs from the Access formula. Hurry to take advantage of it now.
My Black Crown, NBC. Nous faisons de la vente et la livraison de produits et accessoires américains de qualité suprême pour les soins de cheveux naturels. Pour tous vos cheveux nappies, nous vendons des produits de gamme Aunt Jackie's, Shea Moisture, Miel Organique, TGIN, Wild Growth Hair Oil, The Money Choice, Carol's Daughter, As I Am, Cantu et bien d'autres. Des shampoings, démêlants, traitements, beurre hydratant, huile, gel. Les accessoires tels que les pinces, bigoudis permanents, bonnets, grosses démêlants et bien d'autres. My Black Crown, NBC. Notre professionnalisme et notre expérience ne sont plus à démontrer. La meilleure relation entre prix et qualité pour toutes les classes de la société. Contact 671 12 96 39. Facebook My Black Crown NBC. Instagram My Black Crown NBC. My Black Crown NBC. For the love of our heritage. My Black Crown, NBC. We deal in the sales and delivery of top quality American products and accessories for all natural hair care needs. For nappy hair, we sell products and brands such as Aunt Jackie's, Shea Moisture, Miel Organic, TGIN, Wild Growth Hair Oil, The Manny Choice, Carol's Daughter, As I Am, Cantu, and many more. From shampoos, conditioners, treatment masks, moisturizing butter creams, oils, gels, accessories such as butterfly clamps, perm rods, bonnets, detangling brushes, and many more. My Black Crown, NBC. Our professionalism and experience speaks for itself. The best relationship between price and quality for all classes of the society. Contact WhatsApp 671 12 96 39. Facebook My Black Crown NBC. Instagram My Black Crown NBC. My Black Crown NBC. For the love of our heritage. BT Media is getting better, going further with clearer images. Our channels, My Media Prime, My Movie Africa, French and English, My Music Africa, My Gospel Africa, Real Black 1 and 2 will be upgrading on EMA 17 with frequency 12,333, symbol rate 30,000 on a vertical polarity 17 degrees east. This is to satisfy our consumers who watch our channels for information, entertainment, and education. BT Media Group, building the future.
Yeah, welcome back to the studio. After our commercial break, we're going to introduce to you a new panelist who just joined us. She looks amazing. Good morning, Dolly.
Good morning,
The sun represented in this today's edition of In the House. You're sparkling.
Thank you so much. Just as much as you do as well, you know. And you all on the set is so beautiful, and it's a great thing to be here.
Thank you for joining us.
And good afternoon to you who is watching us in Cameroon. But if you're out of Cameroon, we're still extending our heartfelt greetings to you. Hope you've been enjoying the program since morning, and keep on being a part of it.
Oh yes. Just sit and chill. We'll be getting back to you for your own reaction concerning today's topic. Let me get a few reactions from our televiewers. This one says, hello, good day. Actually, we in the modern world, young girls and boys are into sex and ain't care about marriage. So truly, for me, sex can't wait before marriage, since the world is full of misery. All right, thank you for your reaction. Hello, ladies, beautiful outfits you have there. Thank you very much. We have Clotilde from Bamenda. She says, good morning. What about the guy who says marriage preparations will only go on if the lady gets pregnant for him before he marries her? So, to be sure she is fertile. This is another serious issue in our African content, Cameroonian in particular, where guys want to test to see if a woman is fertile before they get married. That is conditioned for some people. Believe it or not, it is happening even till today. So it's a huge hindrance for most girls who want to abstain or go by their religion. Good morning to you all. If you want to have sex or private sex, is that what you're saying, before marriage, don't go into a relationship. All right, that is I think you wanted to say, yeah, don't go into sex. Thank you very much for your reaction. We'll get more later on. Let's hear. Okay, you have. Okay, let's just take it down. We hear from Dolly.
This is coming from Cliff Tabe, all the way from Germany. It says, if everyone involved is a virgin, for all those who are not virgins, isn't it stupid to think just because you are religious, you now claim to have forgotten the taste of the most favorite meal ever made by the Creator himself? Who is deceiving who? Most will tell the partner to wait until after marriage, while getting the satisfaction from someone else. That is simply stupid.
Yeah, cheating on them. Like I said, it's either they will cheat on you or you are going to lose.
Yeah.
You're getting it somewhere else. So, Dolly, we've had a lot of debate on the topic, so I'm sure you were following.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your point of view? What's your take about this? Can sex truly wait before marriage these days? In fact, today, like this, you are experiencing.
Absolutely. You know, the whole concept of sex is controversial. From religion to society to moralistic views of reasoning, it's very controversial. And from person to person, it's all controversial. I think that, yes, it is possible for sex to wait until marriage nowadays. That is, if you have somebody who has the same ideology as you do, not necessarily religious background or religious perceptions as you do, because you could have somebody who has the same faith, let me say faith here as in church, as you do, but then the spirit, your spirit may lead you more, and that person's flesh may lead more, which means that at the end of the day, it's very impossible. And also it becomes impossible when you people expose yourself to the temptation, because there's people who actually decide that, yes, they wouldn't do it, or they will try to wait for their reasons, maybe for deciding to just stay chaste, you know, just because you want to stay pure, or for some people because they fear God, you know, it's kind of like a religious necessity to some extent. Now, whatever the case may be, it can only be possible for me if these two persons, you know, are walking on the same direction, and they truly have come to that place where they both agree, because the Bible says, for those who are Christians, two can never work together unless they be agreed, which means that if I have this idea and the other person doesn't buy it at all, it shouldn't be like I'm forcing it on somebody until that person has it, you understand, before this can be possible or can be applicable in any way. But Eileen, you know, the whole issue about love, relationships and sex and all whatnot, it all starts from maybe your background and how much you have perceived life as well. I am just trying to answer for, because I know much has been said about the topic, but the worry, one of the message Madam Nora just read here, when the person said that, okay, you have been involved in it, and then you make a decision that you are no longer in it, then if he says that it is useless or vain for somebody to make that decision after they might have tasted the forbidden fruit, you know, in quotes as we put it, then they go into, you know, coming into this lifestyle of saying they want to stay chaste. The truth is, it's just like you were in the darkness. Now, I'll give a small example of a snake and the yard. For instance, you come to my house, there is a snake out of the yard. I go and see the snake, and then I come back and I don't tell you that there is actually a snake there. I let you go out there and it bites you, then you come back. So you gain knowledge out of ignorance. So maybe to some person you realize that, okay, I had been like this because I had not yet received this kind of knowledge that I've received now. The disadvantages of having premarital sex are enormous.
Yeah.
I know you people have mentioned them here, from STDs to, you know, regret, pain, and, you know, pain. Yes, and then the truth about sex is spiritual in the whole concept. When you have sex with a strange person, you are building what we call a soul tie.
Spiritual bond.
Exactly. That's why for some people, when they engage in the sexual activities with a particular person, when they break up, it's difficult for them to move on. It's difficult for them to pick up the pieces of their hearts and all of that. So to be on the safe side, especially if you have the fragile heart, morally speaking, it's best for you to uphold your standards and definitely hope that someday you'll find the right person. And then the advantages, it will make me to say that for those who can stay chaste, you see that maybe the day that you have the person that maybe you hope that you're keeping yourself for them, you know, you feel better, or you have it, you know, it tastes better than maybe in the person or whatnot. But whatever the case, you know, there are no standards in relationships. That's what I know. What could apply for A may necessarily not apply for B, because we also have couple who have decided, a couple who may have decided to stay chaste, and then yet, even when they get married, the marriage is still not enjoyable. The sex life is bizarre. And we have those who have been practicing from their university days, somebody's laughing, from their university days to up to marriage and all of that. And then it's just like every day it's a good thing and all of that. But for me, what I know about this particular decision of staying chaste, first of all, it's an inward conviction in you. It's not something that you just get up and you just decide that. You are just doing it just because A or Z or Z are doing it. And that's why maybe in some churches I just find it a little bit difficult, in as much as we can preach and, you know, advise people that, okay, live by this way, because you have received grace to live that way. It doesn't give a final judgment that everybody could live like that. But you know, in church we are out to encourage people. So whatever it is, the choice depends on everybody. Eileen.
Thank you
exactly
very much, Dolly. Let's get few reactions before we move on to more on the show. Sexual incompatibility for me, I think, doesn't exist. Me as a health worker thinks that incompatible depends on blood group, sickle cell diseases, which can hinder you from having children, not to have sex before getting into marriage. And Dre says, I've been a victim of this sexual incompatibility. Great girls, your points are on point. I really don't believe in this charm stuff. While we have this one, good morning to you all. I appreciate you all for your contributions. I think that French lady is right. It's all about mindset. All right, thank you. We're going to get more later, and we are going to cook something this morning. Nora, what are we going to serve?
Okay, Eileen, we have our normal cabbage, stewed cabbage. That's what we're going to do today. And in doing our stewed cabbage, we need meat. You need the cabbage itself. You need your tomatoes. You need onions, celery, ginger, salt, Maggi, and of course the vegetable oil. Now, getting down to the business itself, you start by slicing your cabbage and then boil it. Put your water on the fire. When it boils, then dip your cabbage into the pot and let it boil for a few minutes, and then you strain and then squeeze and keep aside. Now you wash the meat as well and boil it with salt and Maggi to taste. Now you go to the tomatoes and wash the tomatoes, slice it as well. Also, chop the onions, celery, and then grind the white pepper, ginger, garlic, and of course your pepper. After having prepared all of the ingredients, go ahead and place your pot on the fire with some vegetable oil, poured into the pot. Then you preheat the oil and add your diced tomatoes, and then you stir fry your tomatoes for a while. Let it cook for a while, and then you add your already boiled meat, and you stir fry again so that the meat and tomato get incorporated. And then you add the cabbage, the garlic, your ginger, celery, onions, white pepper, Maggi, and of course your salt to taste. And mix everything together and let it cook again for about 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, and there we go. Your cabbage is ready. That's the cabbage right there. You have your fried cabbage.
Thank you very much, Nora. This is a good recipe.
I like it. And some people, other recipes, you could do your vegetable cabbage where you put enough carrots and green beans into it.
And some people add groundnuts.
Thank you very much.
Some people do it with groundnuts. Some people do it with egusi.
Yeah, it's amazing. Today we are going to eat cabbage or eat something extra alongside a birthday cake because we are celebrating one of us. Frank Eno Ayuk, happy birthday to you. He's one of our sound engineers, our technicians here at My Media Prime Television, the guys who make images to be perfect on events and even right here in the studio. Yes, that's Frankie there in action. Happy birthday to you, and we want to wish you the best that this life has to offer. God bless your hustle, bro. More wins. Oh yes. Bring the cake. We are waiting for it. Exactly.
That's a tradition.
Yeah. And if you want us to celebrate, you just send your picture through the phone number and indicate so that we can do same. Dolly Gunda is going to conclude the show with Lifestyle. Don't go anywhere.
Hello and welcome back. Okay, today on Lifestyle we'll be sharing with you some benefits of delaying sex until after marriage. Exactly, we'll be sharing with you those benefits. For those who are practicing this lifestyle, this may just encourage you, and those who wish to practice it, you may. But if not, then live your life. The first thing is that when you delay sex after marriage, when you get married finally, it sparks off the intimacy between you and your spouse, because you feel like there is something that you both held on to, and it's like we two go on a journey or a certain challenge, and we overcome it, and then it makes me to like you or love you more. So the next thing is that trust level is increased on another level, where your spouse can hardly doubt you, because he knows that or she knows that this person had been faithful, because it takes faithfulness to actually uphold this kind of lifestyle. And then the next thing is that the wait is worth it. Yes, many people who have actually gone through this period of time, maybe led by God or for personal decisions, they have always come and attested that the wait is always worth it, and it is quite satisfying. And also your partner turns out to respect you very much. That's when you look at, according to research, it shows that couples who actually keep themselves and uphold this decision of sex after marriage tend to respect each other like about 90% compared to a couple who maybe have been knowing themselves, like the term says. And well, whatever it works, it will work for you though. And then number 5, you could become a record breaker. We could put you on the Guinness record book. You become a record breaker, especially maybe if some of your friends were living the other lifestyle, and then you people become like role models to other young youths. You can create a YouTube channel, that's if you're sincere though, and you make some money out of it because of this kind of lifestyle. So these are some of the benefits. And then studies also have shown that waiting until after marriage makes the relationship better, and also cheating becomes very rare. Yes, it becomes very rare, because this person knows that if I waited 11 years, God have mercy, for this person, then I cannot just give myself to a stranger just like that. And number 7, you are safe from the recurrence of maybe heartbreaks for those whom, when you have sex with somebody, or whom sex, should I say, if those who think that sex is an issue for them, you save yourself from recurrent heartbreaks, because it's, so to some extent people will say it's better for you to just be there than that you keep on moving from one partner to the other when you keep on exchanging your sexual life with them. And last but not the least, you are not struck by guilt. You see, many people have confessed, not only believers, but normal people have confessed often that each time they have sex, there's some kind of guilt that comes on them when they're not married to somebody, like, what did I just do? You see, you become a little bit free from that guilt. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are the tips we had to share with you about waiting till after marriage before you can have sex. If it's a lifestyle, then we encourage you to keep on trusting, knowing that you are not the only one in it, and with God, you will easily overcome. Eileen.
Amazing tips there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's just conclude with the last set of messages. Good morning to you guys in the house. I'm so much, all right, no calls please, we don't receive calls on the program. I'm so much in love with your show. It's very educative and entertaining. I think these days will only take the grace of God for sex to wait till marriage. Only true and God-fearing believers can stick till marriage, but unbelievers can never stick to this. It's rather too impossible for them. I think you're very right there. I'm Abongwa Henry, writing from Douala. That was happening in those days, but with this present generation, it is practically impossible. Finally, I can say 98% of our youth will not wait even those calling themselves born again. That is my take. All right. And we have this other person who says, hello guys, this is Christabel from Yaoundé, Cameroon. Good morning to you guys. It will only take the grace of God for a man and a woman to wait till marriage before having sex. Only true God-fearing and committed believers can do that. All right. And good morning and thanks for this program. From my own point of view, boys and girls have made it as a habit that they can't live without sex, but God has helped some to know that it's sin to do so. Thank you. Good afternoon, beautiful ladies in the house. Good afternoon to you too. Please, I do have a fiance that can't control his sexual aspects, but I'm willing to wait till marriage, and he has done it not once or twice, and I felt bad about it, and the more I try to stop the relationship, the more he's coming to our compound for marriage. And two, since it's like a witness to him or a witness to him, he confessed it to his pastor and mine and was counseled on it, but still keeps on doing it. Please, what should I do? Please, I need your advice. We're definitely going to get back to you. Desmond, yes, we are almost rounding up. Hi, good day, madam. Please answer me this question. How can I prevent myself from having sex till marriage? So what do you say about Sarah? Don't be ignorant in your words. What do you mean by that? We really don't understand. Anyways, I'm sure you've been following our ladies talk. If you stick to your principles, you're definitely going to impose your religion on this person and let them wait. We're going to call it quit for today's edition of In the House. Many thanks to my ladies, Dolly, Gwladys, and Nora. Take the rendezvous for tomorrow. Another educative edition of In the House. Country News is next with Masa Tok Tok. Have a blessed day.